Hey y'all, what's up? This is Josh Beaudry. Once again, welcome to another episode of the Stock Talk Podcast. So let me introduce you to my co-host, Nico.
Criticos,
Nico, how you doing?
fantastic.
Now, I see on the camera, there's two people sitting right next to you. Two people this time. Can you please introduce our guest for today's show?
Yeah, we have two awesome guests today that I first met back in the day of P&W One-Up Club, which was our entrepreneurship club, and I'm very happy to have them both back today. On my left, we have Bryce Lasky, and on my right, we have Jordan Lay.
Yeah, so it's the inverse of, if you're watching this on TV, the complete inverse of what he just pointed to. So, yeah. But first thing first, Jordan, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, man.
You got anything planned? Anything planned special after this episode or anything?
Nothing planned. Just going back to work, getting ready to travel.
There you go. So, but now our next guest, Bryce. Bryce, how you doing?
Great. Happy to be here today.
Okay, well, let's get started. So the first thing I do actually want to talk to y'all about is what's been going on with Facebook, Nico? Like the social media, something completely happened, and I don't even understand why it would happen to Facebook, or actually, should I say Meta?
Yeah, so Facebook, also known or now known as Meta Platforms, the stock dropped over 20% this past week because they reported earnings, and investors were not too happy with earnings. It looks like their VR headset sales were down a little bit, and they also reported guidance of, I want to say 3 to 8% or 3 to 11%, something super low, because typically a company like Meta Platforms should be growing like 15+%. So now that they lowered guidance, that took the stock down a lot, and investors are not happy with that.
So my question is, do you think, like, real quick, do you think, because they do sell Oculus Rifts, I first did not know that, but they do. But you think that's like a huge factor of why they went down like that?
Well, I was really surprised actually that sales of those went down, because I thought that those were getting more popular and sales would go up, but
and another thing too is they are also cheaper now too compared to they were.
Oh, the Oculuses?
Yeah, they're. I mean,
Okay.
200 now. I think got around Christmas time. So yeah.
And they also, is that for they made like at least 2 different kinds, right?
Yes.
They just came out with a second one. So, yeah, I don't know. I think especially for how much they're betting on the whole metaverse thing, something like the Oculus should be a big seller for them. But I don't know if this was just a one-time thing and then next quarter we'll see sales go back up. But it's, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, so Bryce, do you think now Facebook is a must-buy now because it's like 230 something or whatever is that now? Do you think
237? Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think it's a must-buy for people now who hasn't gotten into Meta yet?
I think they've made announcements. I don't know the specific numbers, but they've made huge investments and they're betting really big on the Meta, hence the name change. But the games I know are getting better. I've seen these are just anecdotes, but the games are getting a lot better, and you're getting this double-sided market where there's new gamers that are just getting into new systems. So headsets are getting popular with users, and developers are starting to make more games with it. And you pair that with Meta making huge investments with their new headsets. There's a whole ecosystem being born of the metaverse that they're trying to establish. So it's pretty exciting. I think long-term, it might be a dip. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff going on right now because of COVID, but long-term, it seems like they're laying the foundations for something really big.
So would this be a company that you're going to invest in?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
I would consider it.
Jordan, how about you?
100%. We see companies now using the metaverse to use conferences, meeting groups. So when we're seeing that aspect of workers actually using the space, we're going to see that growth going from each quarter. So expect that. So yeah,
I will say,
on it.
yeah, what Bryce was saying, some of the games do kind of look cool. They actually like put you right into it. I know I used the first Oculus Rift, so I don't know how the second one is, but it has to be improved. So yeah.
All right, and the next stock I want to bring up is Snapchat. So Snapchat had even a bigger move than Meta, and it was because they reported their first ever profitable quarter. And on last Friday, the stock went up 58%. You would think with a move that big that it'd be near a 52-week high, but the stock is still not where it was this past fall. It was over $80 a share, and so we're still only halfway there. But investors are definitely liking the fact that they reported their first ever profit, and it's not a company I'm interested in buying, but it's definitely a popular one out there.
Yeah, with the news, it's kind of shocking. Like we all like used to use Snapchat. Like in 2016, it was like the huge app to use. It's kind of weird, like how this is the first quarter of how it eventually got its earnings. So that's kind of. But I will say one thing about Snapchat is it's starting when you load in Snapchat now, it's becoming a lot different now. They're adding like a kind of like a TikTok thing element to it. So I do kind of see that now. But do y'all still use Snapchat at all? So
100%. Everybody still uses Snapchat.
Yeah.
I think around the cutoff might be 35. But I think a lot of the young people still like us. We still use it. So yeah.
Right. And I'd definitely rather have a company like Meta, because Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, Oculus, WhatsApp, and I think the thing with that company is they have more diverse streams of revenue. It's not just with Snapchat; it's just the Snapchat app, and that's all they have. But with a company like Meta, you have so many different ways to make money, so they're not stuck on one source of revenue.
Yeah.
If you had to invest in TikTok or Snapchat, where would your money
Definitely
be going?
TikTok.
Okay.
100% TikTok.
Gotcha.
TikTok's not a public company, but if it was, it'd definitely be one I was interested in. TikTok I think it's the fastest growing social media app ever of all time.
It might be.
So yeah.
Do you think Snapchat's able to keep up with TikTok, or their spotlight is like dimming?
I think
No.
I think I take TikTok over Snapchat. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I don't think it's dimming, but they have like their niche community.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not room for expanding.
They're four
Exactly.
they're four different things too. Snapchat is more communication, and TikTok's more for just entertainment.
I gotcha.
So if anything, I think TikTok's taken away from Instagram and YouTube. So if anything, Google is the one who is really being threatened by this.
Well, Instagram also added their little reels.
That's
thing.
true.
That's like a TikTok. So yeah.
That's true.
It's really interesting navigating these things because you have these age groups that grew up with it as it was coming. If you were in college in like the early 2000s, Facebook was like just coming about.
Right.
And like advertisers, students, and like people that are familiar with Facebook are all stuck in this like moving thing. And like the people that started with Snapchat are moving in it.
Yeah.
And then you have the TikTok people.
Now you get the TikTok people,
100%.
right?
It's just
Well,
weird.
before Facebook, you had MySpace. Really was before.
But even before that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Vine, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
AOL Hotmail, everyone.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. I just said it.
All right.
No, that's like a real thing.
Yep.
But let's talk about some big boats now. Let's talk about some big boats. So it's some news about Jeff Bezos that hit this past week about his yacht being too big to cross this bridge.
Oh my
so I'd like
gosh.
to give y'all a take about a yacht being too big to even go across the bridge. So how y'all feel about that, man?
I mean, it's Jeff Bezos. He has a lot of money. He's got a big, expensive yacht, and it looks like he can do whatever he wants because he's got all the money in the world.
Money talks.
Yeah.
Yachts are pretty nice, but yeah, not when you get locked out of places.
Yeah. So, but now I do want to talk about Amazon. So, Nico, how's Amazon been doing these
Right. So
past couple weeks?
Amazon is the other big tech company that reported earnings last week, and stock went up 16%. Keep in mind, Amazon stock has not been it hasn't gone up much over this past year. It's been kind of steady, not doing much. So this 16% upward movement is probably justified. But it looks like the main reason they didn't report, they actually missed on revenue a little bit. So it wasn't some great earnings, but they did report nice profitability. I think investors were expecting them to be less profitable. And they also gave good guidance saying that they're going to raise the prices of Amazon Prime to now $140 a year. So something to keep in mind. It looked like investors were happy with that.
Is that like $140 on price point, like a big thing to y'all now? Do y'all like own Prime at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm sure everyone's still going to stick around because they were paying $120 a year. I don't think there's going to be too many people who back off of it just because it's $140 now.
And I believe it's only extra $2 if you do the monthly.
Oh, okay.
subscription.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I would venture and say that Prime cost that people were paying was underpriced compared to what they're pricing it
Right.
now. It's just the fact that they're like asking people to pay more, which is always a tricky thing to like bump up your prices later than setting them high at the beginning.
yes, right.
But it's
And-
like incredibly valuable, like
Right.
Amazon Prime. There's
That-
so much on like in it.
They were trying to justify that they're raising prices because they're adding. They have new features. I think they're adding on a bunch of new shows, and like they have an NFL deal with Amazon Video and stuff. So they're trying to justify why they raised it. But I feel like they're pretty much like they're almost like a monopoly to the point where they can choose whatever price they want, and people have to pay that. You don't have many options there.
Yeah.
But
Similar to like a NIPSCO bill. It's not like I'm
Right,
plugging
exactly.
my power going off the grid tomorrow. Like,
exactly.
But there was some news about the competitor of Amazon when it comes to delivering package things of that nature, UPS.
Oh, UPS.
Okay.
Nico, what
Yeah,
happened with UPS?
it was kind of interesting with UPS. So with all these companies reporting earnings the past week, you've had lots of mixed signals. So some people are saying when the Fed raises interest rates, we might go into a little bit of a recession, and we don't know if the economy's strong enough. And then you have other companies like UPS that is giving strong. And UPS, they deal with billions of packages a year, so they definitely are a good indicator of how the economy's doing. And they gave great guidance for 2022. They even raised their dividend from $1 a share to $1.50 per share, which is a huge increase. They said it was the biggest increase in their dividend they've ever had in the company's history. So when you see things like that, it definitely gave some confidence to investors.
So I have a question for all y'all. So starting with Jordan, we all know how Amazon's dominated. We just heard about UPS, but how do y'all feel about the future of online shopping is going to increase and boom as we go on? So, Jordan, how you feel about that?
Ooh, that's deep. I would think first you can see the NFT space is growing, and you can see it's growing with athletes, artists. They're starting to adapt to not owning the NFTs, but actually monetizing it and showing it on the clothing, showing it on their Instagram pages. So you're going to see that transferring to like their touring and what they're saying on their merchandise. They're going to be able to capture these on their NFTs. And just that alone is going to grow the online space in an enormous and fast space.
And see, we were talking about this last episode that was pretty interesting. Was like Josh, what were you trying to buy? What NFT?
Oh, those board apes. Those
Right,
board
the
apes
board
are
apes.
expensive.
And
I didn't know how expensive they
Yeah.
were.
They're like,
So I wanted to become because I'm ignorant. I don't know nothing. I was like, I got my little $200. I'm ready. About to buy me a board ape. And he sends me a link, and the cheapest is like $2 million. And I looked at it, I'm like, what?
right.
Yeah, so
So it completely blew my mind with that one. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this is just experiment right now with buying the board apes and things like that. But you're going to start to see the blockchain experiment and expand into other aspects like fashion and clothing and merchandise. So expect that.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce, how do you feel about the expanding of NFTs?
I think like there's gonna be a huge like quantity versus quality thing right now. Like everyone's making an NFT, and it's like as a consumer, it's hard to know what's like valuable, what's gonna stick around. But almost the boring stuff that's going to be around, that's just going to replace or like augment things that are already existing. Like artists, like you said, fashion, like individual creators, I think it'll be really powerful for. I've heard a lot of sources say that like a lot of these platforms has like risk as an artist that you're at the whim of like YouTube or Spotify or something like that when they mess around with your contract or like the prices or how they distribute your content to people. So those tokens can give people back and like put them in a more direct relationship with their audience. So I think that will be like it already exists, like audience and the artists want a secure connection without as much middleman as possible. So that those tokens will really like create a new type of relationship between audiences and like individual artists.
So that's what you were kind of confusing me earlier when you talked about these creator tokens or coins, whatever they are. I don't really understand what you mean by that.
I haven't created one myself, but like the idea like at the highest level is that a lot of different brands and like platforms are going to be empowering creators to like create like a crowd with an artist. So like say Spotify, for example, has like tokens, and any artist on Spotify can create a token. Like I'm Drake or somebody like that, and I give my top 100,000 fans who are willing to pay the price, and that way it'll be like a market, like stocks. Like the price will be rising based on like what Drake's offering to those people that are holding the token. Like, and that's where it pairs with like benefits. Like I have a Drake concert every year in Toronto for those 100,000 people that hold those expensive tickets. So there's got to be something tangible tied to the token. Otherwise, it's like thin air. Like we're just.
I see what you're saying.
Exactly. So it's going to expand to the merchandise and music and streaming.
That's
and all
a good
that
point.
stuff.
Now, see, I heard someone talking earlier this week about they're going to do that with chefs, because they said that since chefs are like one of the most underpaid artist forms out there, they think that they're going to the chefs that make that work at where a restaurant's like $1,000 for a meal.
Okay.
I heard they're gonna try to. I don't know how you would turn a chef's food into an NFT though, but
maybe the recipe. Shit.
right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Salt Bay could be an NFT. The way he does
what
the
is
little.
that
That could be an NFT.
Yeah, even the digital art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You can make literally anything NFT. Nico, you should know this. You can make literally anything NFT.
Well, remember how when I first brought this up to you, you brought up the point of like what's the difference of if someone just takes a JPEG image of the NFT? I don't know. That argument is still kind of relevant, I feel like.
That is true.
Because
but you know what? No, it's funny because you said that. Like that was in the back of my mind, Dan. But I wanted to buy a board just to say I have it, like I own it.
But
I could just take a JPEG, but like this is
right.
mine.
But how Bryce was saying, if there's some way they can really authenticate it to where the NFT actually does give you admission or allows you access to something, then it would make a lot more sense. But unless you can, unless people can clearly see what access they're getting, I don't know. At this point, with these people paying millions of dollars for NFTs, it doesn't really. I don't know what they're doing it for, really.
I've heard these too about real estate and like sports teams. So like, this is kind of like a highly regulated area because they don't want the reputation and like the league as a whole to suffer because of some NFT experiment. But like in Europe, they'll let like a C grade like soccer team be bought by like 100 or 100,000 individual like shareholders through NFTs.
Oh wow.
So that'd be really cool. You could own like part of the other one I heard was Michael Jordan's house. Like there's like these two podcast hosts who were considering like creating it like a timeshare. So like they were gonna like crowdsource the money through NFTs, and then anybody that held those tokens could then have like a one night stay or however much shares they own. So like you could have MJ's house for like 3 nights because you own like 0.7 of like the token.
I see what you're saying.
That's so fire. I want that.
Yeah, that would
I
be
want
cool.
that. He sold me. He sold me.
I was
That'd
like,
be cool.
That stuff makes sense. Like NFTs by themselves like don't mean as much unless they're tied to like an actual event.
Exactly.
Like you bought access to this. It's like a ticket. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like just like a reservation.
Yeah. I mean, it depends how the creator sets it up. Like, then that kind of drives the price. Like, if it's something that people can believe in, get behind, and like actually like set a date. Like, I'm taking off work for this. I spent money on this. Like, I'm going to this thing. Like, then it makes more sense, at least to me.
And so, like the thing I've been thinking about too is, so NFTs are dependent on Ethereum, on the Ethereum blockchain, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? So that means Ethereum's down almost 50% from its highs from last year. That means Ethereum has to come back up, doesn't it? So
a lot of things are tied to it. Yeah. The one I heard that was interesting was like real estate, like underwriting houses and like insurance, and those are like practical things that happen regardless, and that could like eliminate a lot of jobs. Yeah.
What the?
They could like do
any middleman person that signs the contract between the buyer and the seller
automated with like an Ethereum blockchain.
That'd be crazy. That would take away all the jobs.
I've heard that will create a lot of jobs for developers who know how to work on the blockchain and know like how Ethereum, Bitcoin, those things work, so that they can like, because if that screws up, then like these two people, like it's a lot of money. Like a house is on the line. Like you want to make sure things are going correctly. So. 100%. But it'd be cool. Like, see, what me and you could sell a house to each other, like on an app.
Right, and we don't have to deal with a business like Zillow.
You wouldn't have to pay like a cut to those people. Absolutely.
See, I guess what I think about when I'm investing in some of these companies, like I'm in Zillow, I'm in. There's a couple other ones that are like middleman companies. I always think about, do you think these companies are going to benefit from this because they're going to get that technology and that's going to help the business, or is the technology going to put them out of business? Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Okay. That's like called cannibalizing your current like market. Like if you
use Zillow as an example.
You're saying if they brought in blockchain, like it would destroy their business model. Right?
But it could also like revolutionize their business model.
That's right. I think as a company like that that's already established, you'd probably want to be the first. Like if anybody's going to disrupt your business, you'd want to be the first one that knows like the effects of it, especially with the scale that they have. Like they have all those homes, all those users on their platform. Like if they can figure it out, even if they have to like take down part of their business to build it up in a different area, like I'd want to be the first person doing that.
Right.
Yeah. Just so somebody else doesn't come along and like completely blindside Zillow with like, hey, we're doing blockchain houses or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What else you got? Jordan, what's your thoughts?
My fault. I'm texting Ben. I'm about to ask y'all about y'all stocks that y'all into. Hold up.
Oh, okay.
Well, not you.
Nice.
Hold up. I gotta write this down too. Edit point. All right.
Don't forget we got the Hail Mary segment,
Oh, we do that at the end.
and we got the one-time stock pick.
I would do that at the
That's
end.
like the same thing as the Hail Mary.
Yeah, we do that at the end. All right, so Bryce.
Yes, sir.
That's so funny. Okay, again.
I got you.
All right, so Bryce,
Yes.
what's some stocks that you've been getting into?
Who would I be into right now? I like OpenSea and Coinbase. Those are ones I'm kind of interested in, or I guess just watching. There's that saying with like the picks and shovels, like when there's a gold rush,
Yeah.
like instead of individual NFTs themselves, wait on the people that are going to be selling it to everyone else.
Right.
Watching individual companies as well in terms of like analytics, like people who are keeping track of it because of how many new coins, creators, and like companies that are getting into this space, whether it's like emerging people or like established companies like Walmart, Amazon, people like that, keeping track of all those tokens, how many people are buying them, how many people are holding them. I feel like there's room for a platform, like a small moving team, to like create some kind of dashboard that tracks the ups and downs of like individual stuff.
Do you know? I know Coinbase is a stock I own, but what's the other one you said? You said
OpenSea.
OpenSea.
Yeah.
That has something to do with NFTs, right?
Yeah.
It's NFT marketplace.
It's like an eBay for
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
NFTs.
That
It's
one's interesting.
A little bit more like Wild West on that one. Like you have to know what
Yeah.
you're doing more if you're going to be like shelling out money on that one.
Now, yeah, Coinbase is a little bit more safe for me.
Yeah, a
I
little
think
bit more trusted.
Coinbase actually has more users than Robinhood, I think so.
Which is
Yeah, they
really
do.
cool. That's that's really cool.
That's kind of surprising. More people are interested in crypto than stocks.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if you think about it, it was with last year where everyone getting in the stock market, it was technically a crypto. It was
Kinda.
Dogecoin.
It was.
It was
both.
GameStop too.
Yeah, it was both.
GameStop too, but the main thing was the cryptocurrency. With
But you
Dogecoin.
can
So, yeah.
you can do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin on Robinhood. So you
Yeah.
would think they would have more users.
But I feel like now it's a more, I won't say scam, but I think with cryptocurrency, because it's a little bit newer now,
Yeah.
more people are kind of just like throwing their money in and trying to see
Do
what
you think
happens.
do you think
and
it's
trying to
more?
run.
Do you think it's more trusted now?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I would say from where it was a year or two ago, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not 100% yet. But
It's weird how much speculation in crypto is happening despite like a downturn. Usually those are supposed to go hand in hand. Like good times, like free money, like let's go see what crypto is all about. But it's like everybody's locked down. I feel like it's like part of the free time. Like everyone's at home just bouncing around on the internet, and like crypto is like really popular.
Right.
And all these new wallets, like these
Yeah.
platforms popping up, making it easier than ever to get like started with it. It's weird.
And plus, the public has always known about Wall Street, like the Wolf of Wall Street stocks. We all know about this stuff. But with cryptocurrency being out, it's like new.
Yeah.
And like we like new things. We like
Yeah.
to see. We like new toys. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's. I think that's probably kind of why Coinbase a little bit more people are in it, because people are more interested because of it being new. So yeah.
And it's probably because you can get richer faster
It's way more
Yeah.
liquid.
with the
Exactly.
crypto. Yeah.
But Jordan, how about you? What's some stocks that you've been into?
I think Neo is a good one, just based off the market and the cars rate that's going right now. You're not able to really get a good car from a regular dealership right now, just based off of the chip shortage that's going on. So just based off of that fact alone, a lot of China markets overseas that's making these chips, they're holding out on the workers. So that's basically creating this gap space where you can invest into Neo and companies like that and create that space to grow and get that.
So Neo
Yeah.
went down like a couple months
Neo
ago,
went
right?
down a lot. I think it peaked out at, I don't know, I want to say what, $80 or something. You just showed me it at what? It was 20. What is it? 24 now.
Yeah, it was 24.
But I think it was a lot higher last year. And the funny thing is, I remember looking at that. I think when it went IPO, I remember debating on buying it when it was about $3. I remember looking at it at $3, and I was saying, well, this could work, but it's too risky, so I'm not. I bought Tesla instead, and Tesla played out too. But Neo like went. I think Neo did like a 25x. I think it went up thousands of %. So that would have been a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see it now. With hopefully the chip shortage should be kind of done with by the next year, end of the year or so, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Is
it's
what looking
weird,
like.
they said that it was supposed to be picking up towards the beginning of this year or last year, I believe, but it's still down.
You're saying like it's going to improve?
Yeah, it's going to be picking up as far as people making more chips, the companies overseas making more chips. So it's still down. They're still needing more workers. So it's still a good stock to invest in.
Right. I heard a couple weeks ago, Apple said, or Tim Cook said that he said the supply chain's improving, and I think most of the companies are guiding for like I want to say spring or summertime is when the chip shortage should pretty much be gone. I want to say.
Time to get a PC.
Yeah. Yeah. Once that happens, then the PC parts will probably be cheaper, and that should become more popular then.
Yeah.
But.
So, Bryce, can you explain to me what do you mean exactly by like a creator economy, and what does that mean?
I was going to ask you guys about YouTube. What are your thoughts on YouTube?
Oh, I love YouTube.
I'll go first.
Thank you. Because this
what?
will segue perfect into this whole,
You know, I love YouTube so much, but I have a big problem with it.
Okay.
I personally pay for YouTube Premium.
Okay.
Oh, do you?
Because I don't like the ads that they hit you with.
I know.
Double, triples.
Yeah, it's rough.
That is my negative. I shouldn't have to pay that much.
How much is it?
I don't know. I think like maybe $7 a month or something.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's my main problem with YouTube. Like, what is with all of this? Like double, triple?
Well, they got to make. I know the triple ones.
It's
That's
too
too much.
It's just too
That is
much.
too
Yeah.
much.
It's just too much.
I can deal with like the 7. If it's like 7 seconds, then it's fine. But once they get to the 30 seconds, it's too much.
But I do like that YouTube Premium. You can also like close out your phone.
Oh,
Yeah, and
okay.
still play it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of YouTube. I don't know person in my life where I would be without YouTube. But that's just
Right.
me personally.
Seriously.
That's where I learn everything from there, and that's what I'm planning to build my career off of that too. That's what I want my career to be as a YouTuber, because all the guys I watch that are doing the same thing I'm doing, they make like $30,000 a month. A lot of them make 6 or 7 figures a year from making YouTube videos, and I know I can do that. So, yeah.
I guess the creator economy and how it relates to like YouTube, like he's saying, like any skill that you want to learn, I guess, and that's one of the points, like YouTube versus traditional schooling. Any skill that you want, there's like 10 people at least that have been doing this for 10 plus years and have hundreds of high quality videos for free. I mean, at the cost of watching a 10-second ad, you can get all this stuff for free.
Right.
It's really just on you to like sit through and watch and practice whatever it is. But and the flip side of that is like that they've provided a model of like how to be an entrepreneur in digital media, like just through YouTube itself, which is why like I think YouTube's such a strong stock. Is like any business that has other people's interests like tied to it. Like as a creator, I want YouTube to succeed because like they're giving me access to all these users and a way to monetize my content.
Exactly.
100%.
So, that's a good point. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's funny like how we were talking before we got on camera about how when you compare like learning stuff off of YouTube compared to going to college, it sounds like a joke like that, right? it sounds like stupid, but I mean realistically, it definitely you can learn a lot of stuff. I've learned a lot of stuff from YouTube, and I have not learned that much from going to college. So
you can't.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious though.
You learned some things.
I don't think I learned one skill after going 4 years to Purdue. I don't have any new skills. I'm telling you, all my skills that I have to make money and stuff, they're all from YouTube videos or talking to people in real life that are in that industry.
Yeah,
that's how I learned everything.
I personally just don't think you were paying attention in school.
He could have.
No, that's not. No,
he could have been sleeping a little bit.
No, that's not. No.
But there's one like key point. This is more like a, I guess, like philosophy standpoint behind like YouTube and like this thing called the metaverse. But like, think about how much time that documentary that came out too, The Social Dilemma. Think about when people talk about the metaverse, it's not necessarily a place, but like think of all the platforms. If you divide somebody's day, like and all those hours, where are they coming from? Where are they spent? And how much time they're willing to put into it now. Imagine if VR gets good enough to where like you're actually in it and they can combine things like classrooms. Like take, for example, a skill. If I have a VR headset on YouTube, some of the best teachers globally, like on this free platform, and I'm in this thing, like if you think we spend a lot of time in it now, imagine if it gets to like that quality level, like and it gets cheap enough to where anybody can afford like $100 headset. Like I can't imagine people like all these things like restaurants, bars, school, like will be competing against a VR headset, YouTube, and like these cheap platforms. Like the admission will be so low. It's like it's going to be crazy how much time they spend on it.
Yeah.
Well, while we're in the conversation of traditional schooling versus the YouTube and the new school, I do know Jordan has a particular different story about his time in college. So, Jordan, can you please let the people know about how you feel about college and how your experience was at college as well?
100%. It was definitely an experience that helped me grow and give me opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I just would have just sat around and being in the house. Real talk. I mean, even just being in these two guys and starting a club, it changed my whole perspective, meeting mine, getting me opportunities outside of just being on a TV show. Like, I wouldn't have thought about doing any of that type of stuff just sitting at home. So
I would like to edit my opinion on
previous statement.
Yeah, I know.
Let me edit it real quick.
I know.
So I guess a lot of my opinion is based off of like the teachers maybe that I don't know, the teachers or the content we were learning, stuff like that. But as far as how he's talking about it with the people that you meet and the connections and the opportunities it brings you, that is very valuable. I think how he said, meeting them, meeting Mott, meeting Akash, all these people that I met here that are super smart, and they're just good people to know. It helps you in your career, helps you moving forward in life. And look I'm meeting Josh here. I could do the podcast with, stuff like that.
Yeah,
that stuff is incredibly valuable. But
yeah. 100%.
That's really my only takeaway then.
It has its pros and cons, but yeah, I think just that aspect alone, it carries you to a different space, So, even just people just in the city or just people that don't get the opportunity, you see the difference in what it makes in the people's lives, just being different people.
And there are some teachers that stay connected with you and actually can give you real life advice. There's actually some very helpful teachers out there too.
Yeah.
So
it depends a little bit on the person too. It really comes down to how much effort they put into school. Like it's only going to give you as much as you put in.
Exactly.
And you had to go find these people, the friends, the good professors, and you had to make a connection with them.
Right.
And really put that effort in to get something out of it. And look how long it's lasted. Like you're out of school now and still have this. And it's not guaranteed to give you like a podcast. They gave you the beginning threads of a podcast, but it's up to you to like continue with that and really put your time into it, make it something that's like your own. Like school can't guarantee you like, oh, this is your podcast, we're going to help you do it, we're going to get you this audience.
Sure.
Like you have to do it and like it enough and put the work in. Like it's not guaranteed. So
yeah, or you got to make effort. Like look how when I joined you guys with the One Up Entrepreneurship Club, stuff like that. Just making that effort to go out and get new opportunities. That's how you do it.
Absolutely.
100%. So yeah, that's my unique experience. But,
Thank you.
Okay, you know what else?
Brought it around.
Now, while we were in the entrepreneurship club, Jordan had this idea even back then. Walk them through what your idea for Flea.
Okay, so originally, it started off just with a concept of helping me actually sell my products online and not have to compete and just spread my marketing with YouTube and Facebook and all these different platforms. Have it be on one platform where I can sell my stuff and interact with my customers easy. So with that concept, I wanted people to get on a home screen and they can scroll and discover things within the area. And so with that being said, I created a prototype and I actually brought it to Mont. And so with Mont, he heard some of my clothing ideas because I was
friend of the show, Mont too.
Yeah, so
friend
I was
of the
making
show.
clothes, and I showed him some of my shoes and stuff that I was releasing, and then I showed him the app right after that. He was like, "Why didn't you show me the app at first?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I just wanted to, just show you what it was." And he was like, "Well, you should think about it a lot more." So just from that alone and that interaction, I grew and just started developing the app. And with that, he helped me, get to different people and presenting and practice and stuff. And so it just keep growing. It was growing and growing, and it actually inspired me to open up the One Up program with you guys. And so it just kept, it was like a snowball, just kept growing. So
that's interesting.
So
oh my God, y'all, we got an origin story.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. So with all that, it just started to grow into a concept where, hey, I'm meeting these people and they're liking the idea. Why don't I just expand But the real reality is that you have to have the money and the funds to start a company and grow it.
Right.
And so that's what and these different people was trying to teach me, is how to reach out to those investors, those angel investors. And so, my mind just kept growing and kept expanding. And so it led me to my job opportunities as well. When I'm in these interviews, I'm able to talk about front end designing and what I learned. It helped me grow and get those opportunities. So whatever ideas you do have, learn to start them and learn to finish them too, because you don't know who's listening, who's watching, who's going to find that interesting, and it could really grow. It can grow.
And how he was saying he would have got that investment he needed back then if it wasn't for the coronavirus, because we were supposed to go.
Wait.
Listen, let me finish. Okay, so a couple years ago when we were in the club and we were talking about that idea, we were supposed to go into these competitions to submit your idea, and then they give out They give out prizes to the top 3 or 5 people who have the best ideas, and Jordan would have won that idea. However, they got canceled. We couldn't go because of COVID. So
yeah, we actually made it to the business model made it to the semifinals of Student Startup Madness.
Wow. Round of applause.
Yeah, it was like the top 32 out of like 1,000 applicants, and it was like from Clemson and Stanford and all those other places. I was like, that was actually the top. I was like the 5th person in the whole school to make make it that far in the competition. So just with that, like I said, just the snowball of people liking the idea, it just helped me keep going. And so it's even carrying me into now, just having the LLC and having that job opportunity. I'm able to get 1099 contracts, those type of things, and building my business credit, those type of aspects that you're not really even seeing when you're in school, interacting with you guys. You're not seeing those things, but it starts to grow and keep going. You're like, wow, like this is really just happening.
Now how you said you have the front end of the app like finished, right?
Yeah.
You just need the back end part.
It's the back end part, and so.
How do you spell the app again, just to make sure?
Fleet, FLEE.
FLEE.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to write that down for sure.
Okay, but so the back end part, that's going to be the difficult part, right?
Yeah, and that's always the difficult part. When you're starting something, you have to think of all aspects, and that's what I didn't think about. You're thinking, hey, I'm just going to start this, and people are going to like it, and people are just going to jump aboard, and that's not it. You have to, schedule meetings, be consistent with, meeting the people, the coders, putting the product out, interacting with the end users. It's a whole process that you have to actually plan out and then follow through. It's not just, following the snowball, the momentum. You have to actually have a plan behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this will get more personalized to you guys. Let's say you're on YouTube and you have a channel, and I guess talking through how you would monetize it, and how you would grow an audience, and what subjects do you think aren't covered or not high quality enough. And this could be stuff you've tried to learn in the past, where you've watched videos and you're like, I could have done this, and this better.
That's
and
right.
How long do you think, I guess people in the audience are wondering, if I was going to be a creator, what would I want to be focusing on if I was building a channel?
I would say number one way for organic growth right now is TikTok.
Okay.
As far as organic growth, if you want to grow on any other things like Facebook is hard to grow, and that doesn't really have much. But a lot of the other ones like Instagram and stuff, you have to pay for it. If you pay, then you'll get some good return on your investment. But if you do, Gary Vee talks about LinkedIn too, but TikTok especially. If you can post on TikTok and you can get thousands and thousands of people to see it, and that's probably the best way to grow your to get attention and grow your brand.
Why do you think TikTok is just so important to use?
Because that's what's hot right now, and that's what people are paying attention to and watching. And the thing that makes TikTok special is that they have the algorithm uses artificial intelligence to not base it off of how many followers the account has. So something like YouTube, if you search for a video, it's the people that have 200,000 followers, that creator will get the attention first at the top of the algorithm. But for TikTok, it's not based off of that. It's based off of it shoots it out to a certain amount of people, and then based off that performance, it'll continue on. So some of my videos, you could have one video that's 50 views and it's a flop and it's bad, and then the next video will get 50,000 views because that's the way the algorithm works. So
yeah, when he posted a TikTok with me, it got 100,000.
No, I don't know about that.
Got 100,000.
That's a given. That's a given.
He wasn't one that got 30,000 views or something.
Whoa.
But Yeah, TikTok is good. And then, I mean, I advertise for my stuff on pretty much everything. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of them. But TikTok, I think, is definitely the number one
for your YouTube channel?
For my YouTube channel.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So the thing with TikTok is you get the attention on TikTok, but it's hard to make money on TikTok. So that's why you want to throw them into your YouTube channel. And then once you hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, then you start making money based off of how many views you get.
What Jordan was talking about with like his app, like think of your YouTube channel as like a product though, and like your end user. Why is your user like at your channel, and what are they like? Think about the skill they're trying to build. Let's say like imagine you have a guitar channel, and like you're teaching people how to play guitar, and like you're comparing that, and you're stepping up from like what the previous teachers have taught.
Okay.
Because I think YouTube's like if you were to contrast like TikTok and YouTube, one's about like impressions, like a CPG, like if I was Tide Pods or like Gatorade or something like that or Nike, and I just wanted to show my ad to like 1 million people, versus like on YouTube they get paid based on like the click-through rate and like the duration of the video.
How long they watch it for, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So like if I just get 1 million views on YouTube, but the second they get like 10 seconds in they leave, like, I'm not going to get paid very much.
That's not very good.
So I could have a wide spread, but like it matters how much like retention that you have.
Okay, here's what's interesting. So what Gary Vee what he always says is the type of content you need to make to be effective is either entertaining or informative, right? Or maybe inspirational. But what I've noticed is so something like how you're talking about the guitar channel.
Yeah.
I have a music channel and I have a stock channel. Yeah. The music channel I've been working at for years, since like 2018 or something, and I have almost twice the number of videos, but half the number of subscribers. Because I think so that means there's way more demand for this. For my stock channel, I've only had it for a year now, and it's almost at 330 subscribers.
Wow.
So it's definitely growing a lot faster.
Gotcha.
I think there's more demand for that.
So you think it's more important to focus on like the quality of the content first, or like putting it out there?
That's a good question. I'm not huge into, I don't have like a fancy camera and a fancy editing software, but there's people that I watch that have 1 million subscribers, and all they do is they just film themselves on their computer. They hit, they record on Zoom or something.
Like a screen share of them doing
that's
stuff.
That's it. Just like what I do.
Gotcha.
That's how I know it can be done with that. I don't need to spend 6 hours editing a video.
Bumping up the production.
Exactly.
Okay, I gotcha.
But long term, that is probably a good strategy to, increase the quality of it.
Yeah, it's more about the content too, and just how people are living. People like to see, what you're doing with your life too. So, like that ground up process, the come up process, people want to see that as well. So, that type of content is getting pushed out on YouTube, and it's one of the main parts of YouTube that, like Wiz Khalifa, those type of artists, they have like day-to-days. Those are like really huge for their audience, because they're capturing, like you said,
like a vlog thing.
Exactly. So they're capturing their audience. Yeah. They go to Instagram and they're seeing their lifestyle, and then they get to YouTube and they can actually see the whole experience at once. Yeah. It's actually capturing the audience, like you said.
And consistency too. Me, Nico, we both know this with the podcast.
Yeah.
I think consistency probably been one of our, if not the main struggles.
Issues. One of our
yeah, because we all got things that we got to do. But yeah. So consistency is another thing. I think we're doing good to start this year.
The past couple of weeks have been a lot better. Yeah.
But let's take this episode by episode. We're doing good now. We're doing good now. But consistency is one.
I mean, the other thing that's hard with something like this is like the type of content. Are you going for more like an interview style with this, or are you going for like what's the news of the week? So we try to do both of them, but we don't want to. If we do one every 2 days or something, we don't want to be talking about the exact same thing if it's just me and Josh on there. So that's why it's kind of important to get new people on the show, make it interesting.
Gotcha. Yeah, 100%.
Now, Bryce, you talked to me about side hustles. So I will agree that this is the era of side hustles.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard to find someone without their main job, without another job, or 2 or 3 other side hustles. So, Bryce, let me ask you, what do you think is the best side hustle someone should be able to do?
I might have hinted at this, but like I think the YouTube one's really interesting just because of how low cost it is, and like the flexibility of being able to do it anywhere. Like depending on like how high of a bar you set with like your first couple of videos, like if people are expecting like a full studio production from the first video, you're gonna have to keep that up, and you won't be as mobile. Like you have to have it in one place. But if it's like Nico's saying, like a screen share or something like that, you can be traveling anywhere and do that. But I like a lot of it's like information, and information's like free other than your time and like access to the internet. But I think just helping people, like education is like we talked about, is people pay good money to like learn things they're interested in, whether that's guitar, like formal, like kind of type of schooling to help them with like work later on, any skill that you have. And I think people suffer with this because they think they get like an imposter syndrome. Like, I'm not good enough yet to be able to show other people what I know, but like even a couple of years into a skill, like you can save people a lot of like the pitfalls and like the trip ups that they'll have along the way.
Right.
And people pay for that. And like there's a lot of cheaper ways that people can support artists. Doesn't have to be like $1,000 contracts, like B2B type of stuff. It could be like $1 donation to your favorite creator. So I would say just like getting started as early as possible is the best way to like gain that muscle of like creating and having confidence in yourself as a creator.
So, Jordan, how do you feel? Well, what do you think is the best hustle then? You think YouTube is it, or something else? Selling sneakers on the on the street?
Yep, it's tough. I think Amazon is definitely a strong one. Selling stuff on Amazon. You see a lot of wholesalers, and what do they call them?
Drop shipping.
Drop shipping.
Okay.
Drop shipping, stuff like that.
Etsy too is another one.
That's a strong one. I would say also. I would say YouTube too. You know, if you really have something that you're passionate about, and you have a personality, and you have a following, a natural following, it can definitely work as a benefit for you, especially marketing wise. Any small business, product wise, that you can come up with, that's good as well. Shoot, man, just be creative.
I think how you said
is your passion.
I think how you said too with Etsy. That are you going to start an Etsy store, Josh?
I have nothing to say. Nothing to say.
And you know, it's small markets like that. Like you said, like Etsy, you can sell stuff on Etsy, and not necessarily be the creator. You can sell wholesale blanks and like tags and stuff, and still make a way for yourself. So it's all sorts of small ways to do it. It's just finding the passion, what you actually feel like you're good at, and growing at it.
I think Shopify is another good one too.
Yeah,
Shopify has you can make your own store in there and be pretty successful too.
Yeah, for sure.
Nico, what do you think is the best side hustle? You think it's on DoorDash?
DoorDash is not bad, especially during the pandemic. I that was like the best job to have during the pandemic.
Are you still a DoorDash driver?
I can go on there and do whatever I want, but I don't do it that often. It's not. I don't really have time. It's not really. It's not that fun anymore. But back in the day, like when everybody was stuck at home, I made like $40 an hour. A lot of times because they had big bonuses and everybody was ordering. It was super easy. But now I got other stuff like guitar lessons and stuff and the bands that I'm in, so I don't really have time to do that. But as far as best side hustles, I think find something to flip, whether it's cars or whether it's stuff from Goodwill and garage sales. There's so much stuff you could flip and make money on. So something like that, or like how there's tons of people who just make Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts and sell stuff through there. So there's lots of opportunities. You just gotta, how Jordan was saying, like if you find something that you're passionate about and you don't mind working on every day, then that's what you should do.
Yeah, even with the drop shipping, if you like water and you just love alkaline water, you can drop ship alkaline water. It's really not that like hard, but it's about the aspect of what you want to do and how can you transfer that to getting money.
Make your own brand water.
Yeah, that too.
Well, now on the show we do have this special segment, y'all, and the edit point's gonna be doing right here. You're gonna hear the Hail Mary. So, Nico, what is your Hail Mary stock of the day?
My Hail Mary stock pick for this week is going to be Wrap Technologies, ticker WRAP. This is a super small company, 50 employees, market cap of only $100 million, and I believe they have $46 million of equity on the balance sheet, and they only do about $4 million of revenue per year, but they're expected to double revenue 100% in 2022, which is super hard to find. And the main product they make is something called a Bola Wrap. It's a device that they're issuing out to police stations around the country, and I believe there's probably maybe 20 cities in the country right now that have these devices, and it pretty much it almost looks like a Batman type of tool. It's this thing you put in your hand, you shoot out this rope, and it tangles up the people, I think up to 20, 30 feet away. So I think it's something interesting to look at. I haven't bought any shares yet, but it's I think it could be one that has a big future.
Would you buy one if they were like one day available to the public?
Potentially. Maybe.
Bryce, how about you?
I like one stock I'm really interested in would be like Discord. I think that's as like an active user, I think that's really cool. I think schools will use it eventually or some form of it. It's like a super simple to use and create like groups to talk. It's used for like video gaming, but I think for like work in the future, it's like Slack almost.
That's coming public this year, right?
I gotcha. Yeah.
Is it?
I believe so.
I think it's. I heard it's coming IPO this year, but we'll see. There's a lot of big IPOs coming this year. But
Real quick, I do want to give a shout out to Discord because they're finally going on PlayStation now.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
They're awesome platform.
Yeah, the PlayStation voice stuff, bad, horrible,
Yeah.
horrible. Thank God Discord is coming, but yeah. But Jordan, how about you? Got a Hail Mary stock you think that people should buy?
Yeah, I kind of hinted it already, but Neo, I think that's still a strong one to bet on right now. Like I said, they're still picking up on the workers and the chip shortage, so expect that growth to happen. Definitely once it start to pick up. So it's just about picking the right company. So I think Neo is one of those top ones. I think they're either top one or two.
they're the biggest in China.
Yeah, I think they're either one or two, something like
and
that.
China's also they're the biggest electric vehicle market. The EVs are more, the rate is higher in China than it is in the United States. So
Yeah.
they're in a good position.
Speaking about China, I know we always talk about this, but how's Alibaba doing?
Sometimes it bottomed at about $113 a share, and sometimes it comes back up to $130, $140, but it's down so much from where it was, $300 a share that we haven't seen enough. There hasn't been enough strength in it. There hasn't been enough buyers. So
I'm sorry, Alibaba, but I still have not gotten my package that I got from there. So I'm sorry.
Wait.
Yeah, man.
Wait, when did you order?
It's like some bulk teas or some shit like that. Well,
when'd you buy it?
You're good. Edit points. But no, when? But when did you buy it?
Yeah, it was about maybe 3-4 months ago.
What?
Sometime in the summer. Yeah, it never came.
Next day, they said.
Yeah.
God.
Well, I don't know.
But Nico, real quick, small cap stocks. Let people know what's been going on with them.
The other thing that's so Wrap Technologies, that was a $9 stock last year. Today it's a little bit over $2 a share. A lot of people are asking why. I think that the main two big reasons are, one, the CEO and the CFO both are stepping down this year. I think that made the stock sell off a lot. But the second thing is that just in general with the small cap companies out there, small cap companies or any company under $2 billion valuation, they're trading at the lowest forward PE ratios they've traded at since 2011. So this doesn't happen very often, but there's definitely a lot of small cap stocks out there that are trading very cheap right now. And the main reason for that is just because the whole narrative this past year in the market has been all about how the Fed is going to raise interest rates, and that the small cap companies get hurt the most by that. So investors have just kind of flooded out of there, and that's why those stocks have been hurt the most.
Oh, looks like right now Bitcoin is also going back up.
What is it at right now?
It's at 41,000. It's going back
that's
up.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
I originally bought it at 47,000.
Ooh. Okay, what about Ethereum? I bought Ethereum.
Solana as well.
And Solana too. But Ethereum, I bought into that one at
ETH is a little bit below 3,000.
Okay.
2,999.52.
Okay.
And what was the other one?
Solana.
I don't know if I bought that one yet. That one seems a little bit riskier.
It's supposed to be
Step up from Ethereum.
I
right?
think, yeah, in
Something
competition
like
with Ethereum. I don't even know if it makes sense to have both. You're kind of betting on the demise of another.
I know, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, how are they connected?
I think they're supposed to do like the same function.
Yeah,
so like
they're
alternatives.
Both, how he's saying though, if you bet on Solana, that means you're kind of betting against Ethereum. That's why it's kind of scary. That's why it's like, I don't know.
Solana is at $132. No, $13.
Okay.
$13? Okay.
I think they were at 40 at one point.
But
All right, y'all, just to say, we have 56 minutes. Y'all got anything else to say?
I think that's all for today.
Yeah, that's it.
Write this down. Don't we do something else at the end or no?
Stock pick. I don't.
Hail Mary.
I don't think we. No.
We're good. Okay, I'm getting ready to end this. All right, y'all. So unfortunately, I think we're wrapping up. You like what I did? Rapping, rap. You get it. But we are wrapping up this episode 24 for Kobe Bryant, episode of the Stock Talk podcast. But before we go, let the guests say goodbye. So Jordan, let the people how you feel when we leave.
Stay positive, stay motivated, get some money.
There you
Okay,
go.
I like that.
I like that too. Bryce, how about you?
Thanks for stopping by the Stock Talk podcast and come back. I'm sure Nico has some more interesting stuff planned for you guys.
That's right.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. And for my co-host, Nico.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go with Jordan. What Jordan said. I like his motto.
Okay, so what Jordan said times 2. Actually, times 3. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Times 3. Well, also, if you're on Apple, please make sure to rate the podcast 5 stars. Help us move up a little bit on the algorithms, please.
That's right.
Thank you all. But once again, my name is Josh Beaudry, and y'all have a good one, okay? Bye-bye.